Comic Boom.
Hey guys, Comic Boom here to review Wonder Woman issue 755. This continues the quest of Warmaster in her revenge against Wonder Woman. Warmaster is, of course, Paula von Gunther. Paula von Gunther has a legacy of being related to the Valkyrie. The Valkyrie are those warrior women that in the DC universe have had a centuries-long hatred of the Amazons. The Gunthers, the von Gunthers, they have a legacy of hatred. They have a legacy of working with very evil people, particularly the Nazis. Paula von Gunther, the Warmaster, Paula von Gunther's parents were Nazis. Wonder Woman defeated them sometime in the past. And in rescuing young Paula von Gunther, Wonder Woman took young Paula and gave her to a loving family so that she wouldn't be raised to be a Nazi, which you'd think would be a good thing. It is a good thing. Wonder Woman gives young Paula von Gunther to a new family, and she is renamed Helen Paul, and she's raised to be a good person. Then along comes, flash forward, of course, to the future, and in Wonder Woman Annual number 3, it was the origin story of Warmaster. It was revealed that Leviathan provided to Helen Paul the spear of Gudra, and Gudra is a Valkyrie that worked with the von Gunthers in the past, particularly World War II when they were affiliated with the Nazis. And upon touching the spear of Gudra, Helen Paul was reminded of the past, that all the memories of all the previous von Gunthers and her family legacy flooded her mind, and it gave her all the strength of all the previous von Gunthers, and she saw the history of the Valkyrie through the eyes of the Valkyrie and through the eyes of her ancestors. And through the eyes of her ancestors, well, the Amazons are the bad guys. That it was the Amazons that attacked the Valkyrie, and it was the Amazons that wiped out the Valkyrie, and it was the Amazons that had this war against the von Gunthers, and essentially it made young Helen Paul hate Wonder Woman, because Wonder Woman never told her. Wonder Woman had the audacity of not telling her that her parents were Nazis. And even if the fact that Wonder Woman never revealed the truth to her, that this really upset Helen Paul, and she changed her name back to her original God-given name of Paula von Gunther, and of course she became Warmaster. And now this is Steve Orlando's tale. This tale has been teased at for many issues. We just came out of a pandemic, but it's been teased at over many issues that Paula von Gunther, now Warmaster, is putting together the 4 horsewomen of Apocolypse, and she's already recruited Genocide, Devastation, and Armageddon. And in this issue, she has Devastation and Armageddon try to recruit Donna Troy so that Donna Troy could be her 4th horsewoman of Apocolypse, and that would sort of complete it. So essentially that's 5. We got Warmaster as the leader, and then we got the 4 horsewomen of Apocolypse, 3 of which are Genocide, Devastation, and Armageddon, and they hope to recruit Donna Troy to their cause. Now, they're hoping to recruit Donna Troy to their cause because Donna Troy's origin, coming out into Rebirth from the New 52, it's kind of convoluted and what have you, but in the New 52, Donna Troy was a genocidal maniac that actually destroyed and wiped out all of the male Amazons on Themyscira. When the Rebirth came, Donna Troy's past history is wiped out, and it was revealed in the pages of Rebirth Titans that Donna Troy was originally created in order to destroy Wonder Woman, and although that adventure has never been put in a comic book, we don't know what actually happened. All we know is that obviously Donna Troy tried to kill Wonder Woman, was unsuccessful, and Wonder Woman took pity and compassion on Donna Troy, and Donna Troy became a force for good, inspired by Wonder Woman's compassion and love for her, and what have you. Wonder Woman does what she does. I'm sure Wonder Woman gave a speech, got on her knees, supplicated herself, and, gave Donna Troy a nice little group, a nice little hug. They probably hold hands. They sang Kumbaya, shared a Coke together, and Donna Troy became a superhero. Now, recently, Donna Troy was the Warbringer. Remember the whole You're the Villain? Now, interestingly enough, even though Donna Troy was called Warbird, her name was changed to Warbird, coming out of well, in the middle of Year of the Villain. Remember, she was infected. Donna Troy was under the infected. She was a member of the Secret Six. Now, you would think that would be a pretty good segue into becoming a member of the Four Horsewomen, to go from Warbird to have Warbird be a member of the Four Horsewomen. That would make a lot of sense. But that's not what's happened here. I think because of the timing and the chaos and perhaps some editorial shuffling, the timing of Steve Orlando's story is such that I guess it never worked out, although they could have maybe framed it that way. They didn't. This is Donna Troy. This is normal Donna Troy that's not infected by the Batman Who Laughs virus from the Dark Universe. And this is Donna Troy, who is just herself, and she confronts Devastation and Armageddon, and Devastation and Armageddon try to convince Donna Troy to join them and become the fourth horsewoman of Apocolypse, so that they can not only kill Wonder Woman, but also open up the portal to Themyscira and attack Paradise Island, so that Warmaster can complete her family legacy of being a member of the Von Gunthers and the Valkyrie, and to destroy Themyscira, and once and for all, as a final way of getting revenge on the Amazons for having destroyed the Valkyrie all those centuries ago. So that's really where we're at in this storyline. Now, a couple of comments here. The art here is fantastic. Jesus Marino does a fantastic job. I can't complain about the art. And Romulo Fujiro Jr. on the colors, fantastic. He does a lot of the coloring for, in fact, most of the Wonder Woman comic books. Really, really good job here overall in terms artistically. Now, Steve Orlando, one of the positive things about Steve Orlando when he writes a story about with him on Wonder Woman is that he really thinks big. I appreciate how Steve Orlando, he really thinks big. I like the fact that he's taken all these incredibly powerful Wonder Woman villains and he's grouping them together. The idea of a Four Horsewomen of Apocalypse, it's kind of a cool idea. I've got so I'm happy about that. What I'm less happy about is a lot of the storyline here feels very forced. It does feel forced. I don't feel like the motivations for Warmaster make a lot of sense to me. I don't really buy into it. I don't think that Helen Paul would suddenly hate Wonder Woman because Wonder Woman had the audacity to save her from a life of being raised as a Nazi. That just doesn't make any sense to me. But so I'm hoping that there must be a mind control element, that when Helen Paul touched the spear of Gudra, the Valkyrie, that not only did she gain the strength of her ancestors, all the combined strength of her ancestors, but that she was also maybe brainwashed a little bit, brainwashed into sort of embracing a Nazi ideology. So that would maybe explain it a little bit more. I can buy into that a little bit more. What seems a little bit off in this issue is the suggestion that Paula von Gunther, Warmaster, talks about, that she only used the Nazis, for a cause in World War II, that, she was just playing along with the Nazis, but she had a higher agenda. That's nonsense. And that's really sidestepping a very touchy subject. But I mean, double down on it. Warmaster is a bigot. She's a racist. And she's a hateful, evil woman. That's what the Warmaster is. You're not going to make anybody feel sorry for Warmaster, okay? I mean, really. So Warmaster's story is, well, I just collaborated with the Nazis. I never really believed in what they were doing. I just sort of did it. I had a higher agenda. So I guess maybe Orlando's trying to write Warmaster like the Red Skull, sort of like in the Red Skull in the movie Captain America: First Avenger. The Red Skull didn't really follow the Nazis. He considered Hitler more of a pawn and an idiot that was sort of like a corollary issue, and the Red Skull had his own agenda. I think that's how Orlando's trying to write Warmaster here. That Paula von Gunther, she's got an agenda that goes beyond the 1,000-year Reich, and that's how it's written here, and that's fine. I guess I'll buy into that. I sort of like the idea of, whatever happened to good old-fashioned evil? I mean, evil, like Nazi evil. And we have a superhero, Wonder Woman, have a super villain. And I personally, I'm getting really tired in Wonder Woman comics of these trying to find sympathy in the villain, What Wonder Woman needs is a villain upon which there is no sympathy to be had. And that's sort of like one of the reasons why I like Genocide. And I like Genocide being here. Genocide just, killing people for the sake of killing people. And a villain that you can't reach. Wouldn't it be refreshing that Wonder Woman wastes her time giving a speech to a villain and the villain just kicks her butt? And then maybe kills people anyway. That's what Genocide did. I kind of like that aspect when Gail Simone wrote Genocide. Genocide destroyed Diana. Defeated Wonder Woman, humiliated her, got barbed wire, got metal, and just basically completely defeated Wonder Woman, practically killed her. Wonder Woman barely survived her battle with Genocide. And here we got Genocide and Armageddon. Armageddon is a relatively new version. Armageddon in the past was a male character, but very much sort of like affiliated with the Nazis. In fact, the old 1977 version of Wonder Woman, the old 1977 version of Armageddon, I think it was in issue 234, 235, the original series of Wonder Woman, had a Nazi. He had a swastika right on his chest. This is now they've changed the gender of Armageddon, but what the motivation of Armageddon is, I'm not really sure. It's sort of a new character. I wish Steve Orlando would have had more time to maybe flush out that character of Armageddon before we got into this issue. I'm still curious as to why we wasted 2 issues on Valda, the Iron Maiden. Steve Orlando has usually the good habit of making the most out of all the characters that he introduces. So maybe we'll have Valda the Iron Maiden return to help Wonder Woman and Donna Troy defeat the 4 horsewomen of Apocalypse. We shall see. I'm almost hoping that's the case, because if you spent 2 issues on Valda the Iron Maiden from Eric, Son of Thunder, you might as well use her in her full glory even at the end to help Wonder Woman and Donna Troy defeat the 4 horsewomen. But some of the interesting things here about that has become quite clear with Steve Orlando's story here is it's moving toward an epic battle. I think it's clear that he's utilizing all the characters he's introduced, even the character of Aztek, when Steve Orlando sort of reintroduced again. He brought Aztek back. Aztek is another hero that used to be a man, but became, again, they changed the gender. So Aztek is now a female superhero. Aztek is trying to prevent Genocide from opening the portal up into Themyscira. Meanwhile, we have Devastation and Armageddon trying to talk Donna Troy into joining the 4 horsewomen of Apocalypse. And if there's one weakness of this issue, it's with the dialogue itself. Steve Orlando does a good job with the dialogue, don't get me wrong. I mean, it's not Bendis dialogue. What I mean to say is that there's too much talking, and I just don't believe it. It feels forced. I don't believe that Paula von Gunther makes a case for Wonder Woman. For someone who has the wisdom of Athena, Wonder Woman displays an astonishing amount of idiocy in this issue. I don't know why she even bothers talking to Paula von Gunther. Clearly, either if you're Wonder Woman and you're talking to Paula von Gunther, Paula right now, Warmaster is basically telling her that you did wrong. Your Amazons attacked and wiped out the Valkyrie, and you're wrong. And Wonder Woman says, no, it's the Valkyrie that attacked the Amazons. And then Warmaster says, well, isn't it possible that you're wrong? And Wonder Woman says, well, it's past history. I suppose it's possible I was wrong. And that's supposed to be some major concession. Who cares? I don't care if the Amazons wiped out the Valkyrie. It's in the past. Get over it. And if you don't want to get over it, you're still a supervillain. You're still a Nazi. I'm still going to defeat you. And if you don't watch your mouth, I'm gonna damage it considerably. I'm going to put you in the ground. That's what Wonder Woman should be saying to Warmaster. Because remember, Wonder Woman's fundamental principle ought to be something very simple. You're doing harm. Stop it. If you don't, I'm going to kick your butt. That should be the ideology. It's really simple stuff. Or as Gail Simone once put it in issue, I believe, or no, it wasn't Gail Simone. It was Wonder Woman said this to Kyle Rayner in issue 72 of Green Lantern back in the day, during Hero's Quest. Wonder Woman explained to Kyle Rayner is that a true hero never starts a fight, but a true hero will always finish the fight once the battle's begun. So, you gave Paula von Gunther a chance, Wonder Woman, okay? And I know it's, you look at Paula von Gunther and you're just seeing this innocent Helen Paul. I get it. But you're also a warrior woman. you're a peaceful warrior. Sometimes you got to take the peaceful out and you got to do the warrior thing. And that means you're going to have to kick some butt, and that's what Wonder Woman ought to have done here against Paula von Gunther. Now, Wonder Woman was clearly holding back, so much so that the Warmaster even got the better of her, and she got speared through the chest, just below the shoulder here, through her collarbone, and is threatening Wonder Woman that if you don't open up the portal to Paradise Island, if you don't open up the portal, so me and my 3 horsewomen of Apocolypse, I guess, because Donna Troy's not convinced. We want to go and destroy Paradise Island, open up the portal for us, Wonder Woman, or I will have genocide, kill everyone in Boston. Well, yeah. Okay, that's how the issue ends. And you know what? That's actually a nice cliffhanger. I like that. This is a very Wonder Woman-centric story, meaning that it doesn't appear that that the Justice League is anywhere, which is kind of surprising because, again, Armageddon, Devastation, Genocide, these are mega level, these are omega level, A-level super villains that, if there's any, I think Batman's got to change the alarm sensors on the Justice League satellite, or whatever headquarters the Justice League has nowadays, whether it's a satellite or in the Himalayan mountains somewhere, or wherever the hell it might be. They got to have some alarm bells going off somewhere when you got even 3 of the 4 horsewomen attacking. I mean, come on, man. This is insanity. But I like it. The stakes are raised here. And I think it's... I look at this story and I say to myself, look, I'm just happy that there's chaos. I'm happy that there's chaos. And what this story was too much talking. And Wonder Woman has got to know by now that she's got to know the limitations of a speech. I mean, sometimes a speech doesn't cut it. Isn't that the whole point of why I read comics? I would tell Steve Orlando, man, and because he's this is a constructive criticism of Orlando writing Wonder Woman. I love how epic he thinks, but I think that, and I say this, it's not just Steve Orlando, because I want to defend him, because he's doing what every other writer of Wonder Woman does, and I think they feel compelled to say, well, Wonder Woman naturally would fight, but because she's Wonder Woman, she must give a speech. I have to have her give her speech somewhere. I have to have her say something compassionate and kind and give a speech somewhere. I got to have her try to use the magic lasso to try to compel. I got an idea. How about you just have Wonder Woman knock a woman out, beat her half to death? I mean, just follow the logic on this. Is it really that big a deal to have Wonder Woman to say, you know what, enough. I'm going to throw the magic lasso aside, and I'm just going to beat Paula von Gunther to unconsciousness. She's got a healing factor. So she's going to be fine. It might take her 5 or 6 days to heal, but that's a good thing, because I want to have a break from this nonsense. I mean, that's what she can do. I mean, why not do that? Now, you might think I'm being a little bit of a smartass here, but I'm actually being quite serious. Wonder Woman at some point has got to be challenged to the point where she doesn't have time to give speeches all the time. Like, what is she going to do now? If she happens to defeat Warmaster next issue, is she going to go and try to have a speech with Genocide, and then maybe have a little tea with Devastation, or, or maybe play tennis with Armageddon, and the winner gets the world? I mean, come on. Let's have some fisticuffs here, and let's have Wonder Woman talk smart and kick some butt, and say stuff like, it's a good day to die. Now let's get it on. You know what I mean? I just want more aggression here. I want more of the warrior, less the peaceful aspect, because, you're fighting the 4 horsewomen of Apocolypse. What part of peace do you think is going to fit into that equation? I say nothing, nada. In any event, props to Steve Orlando. I enjoyed this issue. And I know I enjoyed it because I'm criticizing it and I've got some issues with it, but I enjoyed it. It was nice to read during this pandemic. Thank you, Steve Orlando. And thank you, Jesus Marino. Great art. And Romulo Fajudo Jr. Great on the inks. Guys, tell me what you think of this issue. I think it was fun. It was a fun issue. Tell me what you think. Hit the subscribe button. Follow me on Twitter at Metropolis40. And until next time, hit the subscribe button and maybe, double check, make sure you actually are subscribed. YouTube's been playing a little funny with my algorithm, or their algorithm, sorry. It's kind of weird what's happening on my metrics. I mean, I don't have a lot of subs to begin with, but it's really been like doing a lot of crazy stuff lately, and I'm not the only one to notice it. So just double check, make sure that you're subscribed to me, if that's in fact what your intention is. And until next time, Comic Boom, out.